Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to the Propaganda Machine. So this is the 5 things that we learned from the game. Arsenal 2, Manchester United 1. So second game of our pre-season tour in America, and this performance was quite a good performance. So for about 30 minutes of the game, Man United were kind of on top. They were getting in behind our young defenders and they were creating quite a few chances. I feel like they might have had 6 out of their 10 shots in that first half, because they were moving the ball quick and we just didn't get to gears with them. It was a bit of a slower start than we're used to seeing from Arsenal. So around in the 10th minute, Rasmus Højlund put Man United in the lead. He got squared up our defender, and yeah, it was just a lack of experience, because once he got in front of him there was no chance he was catching him. So Rasmus Højlund puts Man United in the lead. Then a couple minutes later he has another chance, but this time Ben White gets in the way and doesn't really let him take the shot off. He comes off injured, so he gets injured, and then midway through the second half, the young player Leny Yoro gets injured as well. So we just have to thank God that we didn't get no injuries. Although Martin Odegaard went down, it looked like Casemiro just slow and sluggish, just a poor challenge, and he landed on his shoulder, and it looked like, oh, is that dislocated? But thankfully he got up. So around the 25-minute mark, we started getting back into the game. From that 20 minutes onward, we started passing the ball. The defenders were controlling it from the back. The midfield started to get their foot on the ball too, and then Gabby Jesus got a goal. It was potentially offside, but yeah, it's pre-season, so it is where it is. So the ball goes down the left hand side. I believe it was Trossard. Trossard played it to Ethan Nwaneri, puts the ball across. Gabby Jesus slots it in. 1-1. We get back into the game. Half time comes. We make a few changes. I think, yeah, there was 2 changes. I'm not too sure who came on. I think we might have took off the young centre back Aiden Heaven, and one more player. And yeah, Man United made 11 changes. So that was good to see from Arteta. It weren't just 50%, 45 minutes each half. No, he thought some players are a bit more ahead of the others, so I'm going to give them 60 minutes or so. So the game kind of went back into a similar tempo. We was controlling possession, but we were lacking that killer pass. The penetration is not quite there. What we need to start doing as well is taking more shots, because in this game we only had 6 shots, but we had much more of the ball. So that's probably something that we can work on. That's what I'd like to see in the next game against Liverpool. So we made more changes at 60 minutes. Most of the team come off, and Gabriel Martinelli come on, looking very sharp, and he cut in from the left hand side. Man United should have done better, but we can't complain. So Gabriel Martinelli on the 81st minute puts us in the lead. We see the game out. Man United tried to come with a late flurry, 2 late chances, but yeah, the defence stood firm. So now we go into, there was penalties after. Kivior and Havertz missed. Man United scored 4 of their 5 penalties. We lost penalties 4-3. So a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth, but we won the game, which is the most important thing. So with the first takeaway, I'll start with I've kind of already touched on it about the lack of shots, and we're not looking as dangerous as we could do if we add one more signing to our front line, whether that be a number 9. It doesn't look like it's going to be a number 9. It could be a winger. So hopefully, and from our midfield as well, we need more shots from outside the box, because these are those games in the season where I feel we can't afford to let the same things happen. From the Newcastle game to the Aston Villa game and the West Ham game, the 3 games that we drew blanks in, as well as the Man City game. But yeah, those games we just lacked that, whether it's the killer pass or just the bravery in attacking areas, and that's what we're going to need, and that's probably where that extra forward player will need to come into it, whether it's just that killer number 9 who can just kill off a game, no problems, whether he's just scoring 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, or maybe not 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, 2 goals in the first 30 minutes, or when the game is tight, he can come up trumps and just get us that 1-0 win or 2-1. So that's the first takeaway. My second takeaway is Jurrien Timber. From the last game to this game, Arteta recently said in the press conference that Timber's playing at centre back because he feels that it's not as taxing. So from what that says to me is he's got big plans ahead for him this season, because as we saw last season, Timber, he was going to start. He was going to be one of the first names on that team sheet. We were thinking, why is Gabriel on the bench? But Arteta clearly had a plan. We never got to see it, sadly, after 45 minutes of the first half. He got ACL and that killed his season. But he's a player that I feel, if we don't get no injuries this season, he's going to play a significant part in this season, whatever position that is. The only person who I'd say is not going to worry about their position is Saliba. He probably is not going to be our starting centre half only because of the height, but I just have a feeling Jurrien Timber is going to have a big part to play at Arsenal this season. And the third takeaway, the 2 Gabbies. Both of them, they both look very sharp today. Gabriel Jesus, he's hopefully put these knee injuries behind him. I believe he had surgery, so hopefully this time he can stay fit for a big chunk of the season, because injuries are just killing him. And if you can't stay fit, my motto is availability is the best ability. So if you can't stay fit, whether it be him, Tomiyasu, Thomas Partey, of course Smith Rowe, yeah, he's probably leaving. But if you are unable to stay fit for at least 75% of the season, and this is a constant thing every season, some of these players can only do 50% of the season, then you just gotta go. So it's a big season for him, Tomiyasu and Vieira, because those are the 3 that I'm thinking you get the most injuries. Always getting injured out of nowhere. When are you fit? So that's on Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Martinelli. For us to win the league this season, him and Jesus. Jesus, first of all, he's going to need to have the form from the first part of 2 seasons ago when he first signed, when we were just looking. Everything he was doing was just magical. He was causing havoc to every single defence that he was up against, causing real havoc. And he was involved in goals, whether it be scoring or assisting. And then he got the injury. And then he's had more injuries, so we know how that season went. And Martinelli, he needs the form from the previous season as well, where him and Jesus' link up was terrifying with Xhaka. So there's no excuses this season. Oh, the left 8 or the left back. I'm not accepting no excuses from no Arsenal fan. You need double figures in the league, minimum. Trossard got 12. So I need to see you get in between that 10 to 15 goals again, because you've already showed us you can score 15 goals. So we need a lot from you, because your goals drying up probably cost us in 1-2 games that could get us over the line. That sounds a bit harsh, but it's just the reality. Number 4, Salah Eddin Oulad Amhand. Wow. This boy, he's looking like he has a bright future. Whether it be at Arsenal or not, that remains to be seen. So he's coming off the back of a loan at Den Bosch in the Eredivisie, where he played 19 games, got 3 goals and 1 assist. So he didn't play the first half of the season as much, but in the second half of the season, this is where he came to the fore and got his game time. So what I want to see, I don't know if he's going to get a chance this season, because number 5 will be the reason why, but I don't know if he'll get a chance. But what I'd like to see is him to at least get a loan, let him get a proper chance for the whole season, because I reckon that will benefit him so much. And he looks like a player. He's got very good close control. He can keep the ball in tight areas, and also he looks like he can travel with the ball. So those are very key things for a midfielder, and he looks like he'll be playing left 8 going forward. So that's a player that I'm very excited to see. Whether he stays remains to be seen, but ideally he'd probably need to go out on loan, as we're looking for a left 8, or that would be Rice's position. So either way, bright future ahead, and well done on your performance yesterday. Number 5, Ethan Nwaneri. So we saw him 2 seasons ago when he got his start. Well, not his start, when he came on at 15 and made his debut. And the Arsenal fans were singing to the Brentford fans, he's got to go to school in the morning. He's got to go to school in the morning. And you couldn't really tell from that debut, but from all the reports and academy games that you ever read or hear, this boy is a bright star, one for the future. But I don't think he's one for the future. I think the future for him is now. He's got to get game time this season. Because if the saying is, if you're good enough, you're old enough. And from what I'm seeing, he's being trusted. He's being trusted in that left 8. So he's played with, I believe it was Jorginho, Odegaard in the midfield. And I feel the first game, I'm not sure who it was. It might have been Partey and it was Salah and him. So he's been playing, he's been being trusted, whether it be in Odegaard's position on the right of the midfield or on the left. But I just feel like this is going to be a season, and I feel he's already got a place booked for the bench at the bare minimum. But it'll be interesting to see, would Arteta start him the first game of the season? Would he start him? Odegaard, Ethan, and maybe Declan? Is he brave enough? Gooners, would you want to see that? That's what I want to know, because I expect big things from Ethan Nwaneri this season. It's pre-season, so you don't want to get too ahead of yourself, but you can just see he has something there, and at the very least, he deserves some game time this season. So, that's been my 5 takeaways from the game. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to the Propaganda Machine. Bless.